What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream where we're back in our Deck Knight project, a game built from scratch using Unreal Engine 5, C++, blueprints, and the gameplay ability system plugin, and all that good stuff. So today, what I want to achieve is potentially a couple things, actually. Like, I want to, like we did for the on-hit, I want to also have like an on-damage and on-heal callbacks built into the damage pipeline, and then obviously like statics that can hook into that, give some sort of information about the payload. I'm not sure what the payload is going to really be. Like, honestly, the value would be probably what we want to do. But maybe there's more. Like, I say maybe also the person that did. So, you know, if I was damaged, it would pass in who damaged me, the instigator. And then if I did damage, then the target. So maybe in both cases, we'll want to provide both the target and the instigator. So we'll have to just see. So let's go ahead and get started. So a lot of this stuff, it's going to be pretty similar to what we've been doing. So for now, I'm going to take out statics, right? I'm going to find... So there's pipeline and pipeline types. So probably here, I want to find something, right? So there's hit context, and there's probably going to be like damage context, and maybe it should be like a healing context or something like that. So we'll have to see, because I don't like. I guess maybe we should also pass in like the hit context, and then also provide like some other struct. So like the damage context comes with the hit context, and also, you know, the value that was modified. So if I got 10 damage, I would have that number returned back to me. So maybe that's the way to go. But it's hard to tell at the moment. So damage pipeline context, damage over time context. Because we're gonna have to do our multicast stuff, so we're gonna need to do that too. So I think it needs to start with a new enum type. So let's start there. So new enum, blueprint type. We'll call it enum What is his suggestion? No, I don't know if I want to say GSC, but we maybe should. So we could say like damage, pipeline type. We will say damage, healing. That seems to make sense for our context. Then yeah, I need to do like a new struct as well. So I wonder how I can kind of blend them together. And generated body. But then I need yeah, I want to get the hit context, but it's literally just gonna be F hit context, right? But I think that Oh, I'm doing hit context twice. So F Damage pipeline context. So I think this has to go like second in the declaration here. Hit context, but then yeah, I don't know if it needs to be blueprint read write. Read only probably. And then yeah, probably the type, and then at this point it could be any kind of values, right? So property. Yeah, this has to be what, like value? Delta? Not sure what the best way to word this would be. So float, maybe new value? So like the new value for health, I guess, but you can query that cell. But let's just do that. And then we'll say property. The value. What do I have to do? Man, they all constructed as 0. Something like that, right? Oh, bam. That should be good. Hello, sir. How's it going? You've already set up in the holidays mood, I see. Yeah, it's not a Christmas sweater, but it's a Lord of the Rings kind of Christmas sweater I got from my girlfriend's family. Super considerate, super cool gift. I love it so much, and it's cozy. You can't see now, but I'm also just in sweatpants, so you know it's a cozy stream today. So F damage. Oh, so there's multiple context already, right? Okay. So this should be what? So F damage. F damage modification context. You cannot use the row ENA as a type for member variables. Oh, I always forget what the syntax is for that. I don't have enum in this example, do I? What is the syntax? Enum byte. Yeah. So almost okay. Oh yeah, it's a different naming now. So everybody should be relatively happy here. So now we're gonna do a couple of stuff here. So we're gonna do F on damage applied. Const F hit F damage modification context out damage mod context. I think is fine. It's to be reference and like that. Whoops. Seems kosher. Then we'll do F on damage received. And then we'll do another set on healing applied. So when I apply a heal to somebody, which might not be necessary, I don't know. And then received. Now this on hit applied event, I'm not sure where that's really truly being used, but we'll figure that part out later. Do I have it means for AI to generate the context for me here? Yeah, something went wrong. Okay, we'll deal with that later. Obviously, we're gonna have to do also damage log history at some point for our I am GUI debugs. But now that we have it in our types, we should be okay. So it should be able to go into the damage pipeline subsystem. We're gonna have so there's on event listener. So we're gonna have to do something similar. Because yeah, there's the types and on hit received and on applied. I don't know if I'll need to do that too. Let's assume we do. Let's work with this assumption here. Now we need these types. Healing. Healing. Okay, so we got that. Yeah, back into our subsystem. Need to have, because yeah, there is this callback. F on hit applied. I think I need something else too. Let's just do it little by little. So you property, yeah. Blueprint is, so these actually aren't used anywhere. So actually, bye-bye. I assume. Let's not delete it. Let's just comment them out. So on hit event, register actor on hit, board, hit received, hit log entries, damage calculation class. I don't know if I need this. Hello, Dino Zaver 151. Hello, hello. How are you doing? Thanks for popping in. So we got all this stuff, but yeah, we're missing a good amount of stuff. So on hit applied listeners, on hit received listeners, we're gonna probably need some T arrays for those as well. There's internal forward on hit applied, on hit received. I'm assuming we need to do something similar. On registered listener, sending hit request, on hit event. I gotta think. So I'm gonna assume we need a new struct here. So use struct. We'll do separate ones, right? Or struct f on damage event listener. We'll do this. Then another new property. And then we need to do f on damage. So this is where I think we're missing. Right, so like F on hit applied event. So F on damage applied event. And then we gotta get the right context here. Then we'll do, I don't know if we need to do a received or not, but we'll just do the other one. Say F on healing applied. Then to the same modification. Back here, so we're going to say F on damage applied event. Callback. We'll just name these pretty similarly, and then we could do probably the same operator there. And change this to damage event listener. Yeah. Okay. And we probably copy this. F on healing event listener. Change that to that. And then the F on healing applied event. Oh, that should be all cool. So now we need to do this kernel stuff. Let's register listener to, I think this has to be renamed. So unregister on hit event listener. Now we're gonna have to clean up. Well, I mean, why did this break? Oh. It's because of that stuff then. Right? Happy? Cool. So we do need those. But just blueprint assignable for some reason. I don't remember why. So we'll just have to see. We got our kitty in the back. I don't know how well you'll be able to see her. She's right here. So yeah, we need to also provide these. So new property. We'll do the same stuff. Blueprint assignable. Category damage pipeline. F on damage applied. Healing applied, sure, but we gotta do the other damage one, right? So property. Assignable. Receive, thank you. Property received. Okay. Now there is send hit request and on hit events and register actor on hit, unregister actor on hit. Need to probably make these as well. Probably should, you know, kind of space these out. But I mean, I feel like it's all needed within this damage pipeline class, so. One thing at a time. So, new function. We don't want to make it callable. So we want to say void register actor on damage event, I guess. We could do something very similar. So I'm assuming we don't actually need. Okay, so there is only one of those, so that should be Gucci. So we want a listener, but then we want to change this to E damage event type. So damage event, and then F on damage applied callback. Should be what we need. And then an unregister as well. So we're gonna grab this. We're gonna do some copy paste, but it should be similar signature here. And then we can more or less copy both of these into this on healing event. And that should be everything at that point. So we should be able to generate these. Okay, and yeah, we gotta do this one at a time. We're gonna, again, do a good amount of copy paste. To do that. Now, is val listener and callback is bound, blah blah blah. And then now this is the problem. F on hit event listener. It's not what we want. We want F on damage event listener. And then we're gonna grab damage event equals on damage wide. And then we're gonna so now we have to also give ourselves some listeners. So hit event listener on applied, receive. So we're gonna do have to do a bunch here. So we're gonna say F on damage event listener on damage applied. Same. And then on damage received listeners, and then again for healing. F on healing event listener. Then we do healing here. Okay, so that should be more or less the boilerplate. We're also gonna update stuff here, I think. Let's just get to that when we get to that. So we're gonna say on damage applied listeners dot add, and now we gotta do these internal ones, right? So copy paste here. Internal forward on damage received, and then it's going to be this context here. That. So it's received, and we'll do applied. Have to do probably on register. On register on damage event. Same for on healing event. Okay, so there's the two forwards for damage. Then we copy paste this. And then do on healing. Okay, we should be able to generate everything again. Go to mount. But that is the way it is. So we should be able now. So register actor on damage event. Now we have to do on hit delegate. So it's gonna be on damage applied. Delegate callback is already bound, and then we're gonna say internal forward on damage applied. And yeah, do the same here. What's wrong? Oh. Go. Okay. Now we gotta do on damage received listeners, and then yeah, we do on damage received delegate callback, and we do internal forward on damage received, and then Copy that. Copy this. There we go. So that is register on damage event, and then we gotta do the same thing for registering healing event. But first we'll do the unregister for the damage. So again, a lot of boilerplate, a lot of copy paste, but you know, maybe this all can be converged into like one thing, but whatever. So we say damage event equals on damage applied, right? And then we'll do on damage applied listeners that remove all context. It's going to be F on damage event. What is it? Oh, okay. F on damage event listener. Okay, unbinding. Great, great, great. Now we got to do it again. Move dynamic and then on damage applied. Delegate callback to remove dynamic, and we're just going to return internal forward on damage applied. And then again up here, so on damage received listeners, same delegate listener. That boom, 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 clean, done, none. On damage received listeners. And then on damage received, callback that remove dynamic, and we're gonna do internal forward on damage received. Seems good. Now we just gotta do now registering on healing event. We're gonna grab the on damage event. Copy that down here. Update. So the first issue is it's on damage applied event, so we have to fix the signature here. So F on healing applied event. So let's correct that in our signatures here. Okay. So F on healing listener, then on healing applied listeners add L, then on healing applied delegate callback, then we'll do on healing applied, copy you, copy you, copy you, copy you. And then on healing received listeners done at L is already been found on healing received delegate callback. Copy paste that here, and then internal on healing received. So we can copy that here, so everything's received at this point. All seems okay. Now we gotta do the unregister, so we can grab the unregister. Do yeah, I said on damage applied, right? So this is on heal, on healing applied. Well, it's damage event, that's fine. That there. Did I also put that in there? That there. On healing applied. So now on healing applied. Listeners. Da-da. So far, not happy with this. We're gonna have to see why in a few moments here. So, re-listener. Okay. Cannot resolve symbol listener actor. No. Oh, seems fine. What's wrong here? Copied each location, but maybe that's not a big deal. All right, let's finish up this function name and then we'll look at that. So on healing received listeners. Oh. So that's received. Also doesn't like it here. So we definitely did something wrong. F on healing applied. Listener, so F on event listener L. So is that this one? There you go. So wrong listener. So at this point, we have the boilerplate, but we just don't have anything broadcasting, right? Because we have the on hit event. Maybe it'll be easier to do it here because there's like the on hit event, right? And then this is where it broadcasts everything. So we're gonna have to do or find the right places for that within the damage pipeline. Because there is the internal, right? So apply heal the target internal. And so we get the F damage pipeline context, which is all this stuff, just the hit result. So maybe we actually pass in the hit pipeline context. And that's all we really need. Because what are we trying to pull in? We're trying to pull in the whole F hit context, which is a bunch of stuff, which I mean, maybe we actually do want. I'm just curious how we get that from both the internal and all that stuff. Or do we kind of construct it ourselves in these internal things? Because some of it's provided within like the damage context and stuff like that. We'll have to see. So let's start with, let's also just remind ourselves again on hit event what happens. So we do on hit delegate callback broadcast hit context. So let's look at damage internal, right? Yeah, apply damage to target internal, right? Or do I construct this broadcast from the execution? Maybe. I don't know if that's safe. I guess, but it's a single player game, so maybe it doesn't matter. try that. So we have the damage execution class. And yeah, we might want to also provide information that it was like a critical hit, potentially. That would be, I think, useful in a lot of cases. So we'll need to go back here. Maybe, I guess it could be critical healing and stuff like that, but for now, excuse me. All value and U property. Blueprint, read only. Cool. The critical modification. Oops. Okay. Okay, let's go into our execution. Because yeah, we do this next tick, apply heal to target. But yeah, it's at this point we're constructing the event and everything, so maybe also in here, because we do this timer, maybe here as well is a good time to do something. We could say damage pipeline subsystem callbacks on damage applied callback. Let me look at the hit again. So we're literally just doing on damage applied. Broadcast it. Now we need to give it a F damage modification context. So we're going to have to construct this modification context now, which we should be able to do, because we are kind of doing it already here when we're doing this broadcasting to the ability system component and everything like that. It feels like it might be some redundant writing here, but no. Let's just try it and we'll see what happens. So we need to say like damage modification context dot B critical modification equals B critical hit. Damage modification context dot damage pipeline type equals so what is the damage pipeline type? Oh, is this? So this is damage. Seems fine. Now damage modification context dot delta value equals damage. And I pass in so damage modification context dot new value equals am I able to get information from the ability system component? Let's see. And I say there's like Get numeric attribute. And just see how I can get that information. So I'm not too sure how to access. Because what I want to do is much the math. And maybe I would want to pass in if the enemy was killed or the target was killed. Should be able to do something like target, ability system component, get numeric attribute, and then it has to be. So do I have? So you health attribute set, and then get health, get current health attribute. So that. Minus damage, right? Like, could this also be done in the attribute set itself? Maybe. I don't know what information we really. I guess it could be on the post gameplay effect. Maybe. Maybe. Let's try there instead. But you don't really get context if it was a critical hit or not from there. Unless the gameplay effect itself passes that data along after it was applied. Which maybe I could. Because yeah, there's source tags, target tags. Maybe I could modify them. So this is going to be the tricky part. Let me see. If within an attribute set, I could read this information. So let's go to the attribute set. We got our health attribute set, and all the characters have a health attribute set. There's pre-attribute change, post attribute change, and then post gameplay effect execute, and we should be able to get the data from it. And you get a good amount of stuff in here too. And we check, okay, is it the damage? And if it is, we could do that as well. So possibly, yeah, and then there's this passive healing event. So I actually do a good amount of stuff here. What information do we get? Data.target. Maybe this whole function thing could be a little cleaner. Because, yeah, we do death payload, and then we do healing payload, which maybe... Am I doing this in too many places? Not sure. Code base is getting a little complicated. I can't remember everything. Let me go to the healing execution class. Yeah, so I am sending potentially in two places, right? So, well, this is telling me I healed somebody, and then this is telling me I'm healing, right? So it feels like this is redundant because it's saying event gameplay on healing. Event gameplay on healing. So it seems as if either this one's redundant or this one's redundant. So I'm going to assume The one in the active one can be removed. And we won't lose any functionality. We'll have to test that too. So what do I want to test? Well, honestly, I want to make sure that this compiles. Also, they're saying I could probably move it this to this. This is redundant. But yeah, I want to test if my passive healing still works, but I also want to be able to see if I can pass in whether or not it was a critical hit. So yeah. Do I have a tag for such occasion? Let's go to my native gameplay tags. Is there anything in here that says critical? So damage type, critical. Yes. Okay. So I should be able to hopefully modify. I don't know if I can. So that's my first issue. Let me see. Then I have to ask the computers. I'd like to say in here, so yes, you can modify text extra class and attribute, but you cannot modify the attribute directly. That's fine. Okay, so I should. Okay, so I can add dynamic stuff to it. So, because I'm already getting the spec, right? So I should be able to say spec dynamic tags, right? It has dash damage, critical damage. So if the critical hit, I should be able to then say spec dynamic add damage type critical. And now in the attribute set, is it in the data here? Can I say like data dot effect spec dynamic granted tags as tag exact damage type critical. So if then UE log FMT log temp warning damage modification was critical. Should be Gucci. But we did just write a bunch of code, so let's try to compile it and see what happens. I gotta take a picture of my cat, send it to the girlfriend. I'll try this compiles, honestly. We did a lot of boilerplate, a lot of copy and pasting, which is dangerous, so we'll have to see if maybe we got lucky. not too shabby. You know, we got it. Not gonna complain on that one. Well, I'm gonna complain because I want to complain. Okay, so now what we need to do first, we're gonna just make sure nothing crashes. I don't think anything's gonna really crash because we're not really invoking any of this new logic just yet. What I do want to see if I get this critical hit log. So we have our dummy. Let's clear our log, and then we should be able to open up our gameplay attributes, go to our character, and then go to critical chance. Set it to 1, so it should always be a critical hit. And so we got a crit. So let's see. Damage modification was critical. So that passed in correctly. Let's just hear that. Hit him again a couple times. Okay. Do we have anything about critical? No. Great. So that all passes. So the other thing I needed to check was to see if I was getting my healing events still. So gameplay attributes. So we want to do all damage healing coefficient. We'll just set it to 1. So we get healed 100% of our damage, and we do. Awesome. So it looks like that is redundant. So let's nuke that out. So now, I believe here is probably our best bet to actually do our modification stuff. So I'm gonna grab that. Go into our health attribute set. More likely than not, we're gonna go up here with it. Excuse me. Now we need to also somehow get the world, which will be tricky, I think, because we're in an attribute set, but we can get the world context, I think, from, source actor should be fine. Or target actor, maybe just because it's us. So obviously right now everything is null pointer by this point. So we need to probably be more certain here. So we're constructing the context, so probably up about here. So now, because we're checking if it's our incoming damage, then we're doing a healing event. So it says if the healing current is not equal, get max. Set current health. Well, I mean, the get incoming damage attribute. I'm assuming this is. Alright, I guess I could determine if it's healing, because I could do some math. There's incoming damage, incoming healing, but then there's this if it's get current health attribute, right? Yeah, okay. So somewhere around here, I guess I'd want to do it, right? Or can I do it at the very end? So I'm gonna need to include it. All right, give me a second, guys. I gotta take a bathroom break. I'll be back in just a second. Alright, your boy is back from taking a big shit. So where were we? So yeah, now we're getting the get current health attribute set, right? So data.evaluate that attribute set. So yeah, we do incoming damage. I guess we have to determine if it's from the incoming damage attribute or it's from... So I think I could construct it in a very similar way. Because it's very similar, because we do damage on applied and on received. I'm able to get both information, right? Source and target. So, yeah, maybe it's actually better to do it up here, where it's going to be constructed in a very similar way. And then, yeah, we grab it like this, so this is how we can get it. It's critical. Now we'll probably want to check as well if they're dead. We don't need the tags, but in our types. Something like that. We should be able to construct that similarly. So in the health attribute set, we do this. So more or less, a lot of it is the same, except here. So this does have a reliance on whether or not this stuff excuse me. Yeah, so if this all fails, do I like, if there is no damage pipeline, do I want to be doing anything else? Like, I fear having to be doing, like, redundant stuff. But maybe it is okay if I... Well, I mean, I am doing the stuff here. Like, the concern is, like, because I have incoming damage attribute and then I have incoming healing attribute. And, like, I'll have to do double the work in constructing stuff and checking for it. But maybe that's okay. Let's just work with the assumption that we'll construct redundant data. I'm gonna do this. Let's say this broadcast thing, you get the damage modification. Do broadcast. Unapplied, unreceived. And then in the damage pipeline, we do register, unregister. So registering, and then, yeah, we do internal. Yeah, we still have to fill out these internal ones too, I just realized. So, yeah. Okay. Forgot about a bunch of this stuff, so we're going to continue. So, forward on hit applied, for Gotta copy paste this. So we're gonna do on damage applied listeners, that num, and then yeah, F on damage event listener. So again, here, and then we're gonna do this. We're gonna do out damage dot modification context dot hit context dot instigator is that, and then found that. Seems fine. So we'll copy that. Do the received. Now we're gonna do damage received listeners. That can all remain the same. That's gonna be listeners, received. Now we're gonna change this to hit target. So, and that should be good. Now let's do the last for healing. So on healing applied listeners. Bam, bam. And then F on healing event listener. Gator. Yeah, so all good there. Copy that. On healing received listeners. Just to hit target. I think that's all good. Now we gotta do the unregistering. So on damage applied listeners, that remove all, and then F on damage event. Which one? F on damage event listener. Good. Unless, yeah, this is going to be on damage received listeners. Seems fine. Copy that. This. Now this is on healing applied listeners. Okay, that should be okay. So now we can go back into the attribute set. So get incoming stuff here. So health before damage, we can pass that along as also old value. I say equals damage because this is local damage is this. That's equal to damage. So delta value is local damage. New value is new health. Probably also do, well, I mean, you could do the delta yourself, right? And then I need to construct this F on hit context, right? And at the end, I want to say damage modification context dot hit context is hit context, and then I pass in that, right? So I should be able to say hit context dot hit target equals target actor, hit context dot instigator equals source actor, hit context dot hit context text container. That's all fine and dandy. I don't know if I'm passing in the additional context tags for it, because like I want to also know damage type, right? Yeah, we get so spec dot dynamic granted tags. Yeah, I think I want to grab the damage type. Seems like it's too much information, but you know. View property, blueprint, read only, blah, 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 blah. We're gonna say F gameplay tag. Yep, damage type, thank you. Now, should be able to say I'll need to. I guess I could determine if it has it as well, right? Like the dynamic tags and everything. I don't know if I'll need that data if it's damage over time or not. Probably want to have that. Not sure if it's going to be. Oh, I think that was the class I needed, right? No, types. Maybe I can have another boolean. So U property bool be modification over time. False. Theory, I could check damage modification context. B modification over time equals data dot text spec dot dynamic granted text that has tag exact damage over. We'll see. Just have to do this as well. Where let's say, damage modification context. Maybe there has to be a separate modification context. Like a healing modification context and then a damage modification context. Maybe. that, but then now this one is gonna be beta dot effect spec dot dynamic tags dot find or get. What options we have? Get gameplay array. See how to get a okay. Tag is present. Any. Trying to find this information at the moment. I'll have to do a lookup, I guess. For I'd have to make a base tag here. Damage type, yeah, let's just make another one here. So we'll call it, root. Something like that, then I should be able to ask it. Oh, root hole. So now that should be the root happy as if. And then we say because there's matches tag. There's not like matches. Yeah, there is. Exact. So I don't want. So I want to make sure that we have it. That should work. So now we're doing. Yeah, we're getting all the health information. We're seeing if they're killed or not. Now we're getting all the information for the context. So hit context dot. There is hit result equals. Now, do I get any of that information? Do I need any of that information? So there is data at the target, that ability actor info. So what do I get from data, I guess? So data dot, there's that, there's the gameplay spec. Is there like, yeah, context hit result. Okay, so what's wrong here? Okay, good. I hope. So now hit context dot hit timestamp equals get well, I have world, right? Get time seconds. And now hit context dot. the source optional object, which I don't think I'm going to get anywhere. Let's try to find it. Equals, whoop. No, data dot effect spec dot context. Then there's get original, add source object. There's nothing else. Yeah, get source object, right? Let's just say assume that's fine. So let me look at the definition here, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parameters. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parameters. So there's really just the context tags that's missing. And I'm not super entirely sure. Let's just assume we do something like hit context dot context tags container equals data dot effect spec dot. Let's just put all the stuff in there as well. And then we add the hit context like that. And then we do the broadcast, right? Now I feel like all of this would then go down in the healing event too. And that's where my kind of concern is, you know? For now, you know, maybe I can ask ChatGPT or something to refactor it, because I'm not 100% sure how to refactor this. Sorry, I'm getting some memes. Again, let's just assume. Let's just make some really redundant ad data. Because I guess the point is, I would need to make like a separate healing context, I guess. So just do this here. And so what we're gonna say is now on healing applied, on healing received. A lot of this context data is going to be the same, but yeah, this is killed. Probably going to be false if we healed them. Healing, so delta value is going to be local incoming healing. And then new value is new current health, right? Then we broadcast, all the information should be the same. So I think at this point now, I need to introduce my statics. So let's see. So you function, blueprint callable, category register, actor on damage event. Callable, yeah, static, unregister, and then again, healing. Cool, yes. Okay, now gotta generate all of that. And yeah, we're gonna have to do a lot of copy and paste, so let's just do register on hit. On register. So damage event, damage pipeline, register, actor on damage event. So listener, damage event, callback, boom, boom. Okay, and then unregister. Damage event, and then unregister. What is the difference here? We have a lot of unregistered, right? Is it redundant? We'll see. So now we'll do this one more time for healing, and then we should be able to start testing some stuff out. Should be it. Let's try to compile. And yeah, we'll deal with any errors as they come up. And we'll have to start debugging this stuff, and once we think it's good, we'll probably be able to then generate our what's the word? Our logging, like our debug logging. Because yeah, there's this hit log entry in this information. So we should be able to do that. Okay, so no matching overload. Where are we seeing? Cannot convert. Where? So it tries to do in the health attribute set. Cannot convert from you to actor. Alright, let's see. I'm assuming it's in the attribute set, because that's where it seems to have failed, right? So attribute set. So it can't convert from a U object to an actor. Where am I attempting to do that? Quick. Missing source actor. I'm guessing here. I am maybe doing that. Let's, just to be certain, let's comment out my portions of code in here. Just confirm if this will compile or not. Still now it's complaining in damage pipeline. Not super confident on what this problem is. So invoke matching overload. Okay, so somewhere the healing event. Oh. So back on healing. Event listener. Okay. Should be happy. Maybe. Okay. Let's just uncomment in the attribute set. Let's just uncomment one of these sections. And let's just confirm if it compiles or not. Still giving me an error. But let's see. Where am I converting in here? From new to actor. Because yeah, get world returns you world. So now that's fine. So then we do this damage pipeline, get subsystem, fine. So that should be good. that. Damage type is what? F gameplay tag, right? So seems fine. Doesn't seem like that's gonna be it. This is Boolean, this is all health stuff. So to me, it's somewhere in this hit context section. Let's see if I'm right. Because maybe it's this thing. Yes. Okay. So yeah. This seems to be the problem because get source object. So I guess I have to do cast a actor. Optional object is a T weak object pointer class. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, let's just see if that fixed it. Okay, that did fix it. I wonder if there's a better way of doing that. Oh, this seems to be valid. So let's uncomment it up here as well. And we'll have to just do our explicit casting as well. And we'll see if that works. And if it compiles, then we gotta actually see if we're getting our callbacks and making sure our data is constructed correctly. And we'll kind of go from there. Okay. And now, just to be extra super sure, let's hit and see if we get a crash. No, right? And we're dealing damage. Awesome. Now we get a problem. So access violation. So do I have to do like an This might. So we might have to do if. I mean. wonder if that's okay. But I also don't know why I was receiving healing. I guess I have to also check if, like, am I healing execution or... Like, if the damage is coming from me, don't heal from it. No, I can see some cases where it would make sense. We got Sleepy Kitty on the chair. Try that again. Not able to play. There we go. So yeah, now, boom, boom. Still gotta see why I'm getting 0 there. Maybe that could be something we look into. Bam, bam, bam. Let's just make sure we have attributes set up. Health attribute, we're gonna say healing attribute 1. For healing. Everything looks cool. Okay. So now, in theory, we should have our healing what's your blueprint for? Lifesteal container. This I should be able to just delete. We don't need it anymore. I should be able to register to this instead of on healing. Should be able to find so register on healing event. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. So that is wrong. Let's fix that. So the signature for the statics. This is also wrong. Let's change the healing event. I don't know what the repercussions of that's going to be, but we'll see. Get a kitty camera for you, Google. Don't do it. Okay, so no repercussions just yet. I also wonder... Yeah, if I make my own gameplay effects spec context, maybe I can also... think that might make things easier? I don't know. Well, Now if we do register on healing event listener, callback, add event, we can break this, and then get a lot of information from it, right? And so this is the concern really, because there's damage type, and some of this might not be necessary for healing. So we might refactor this next time to make separate events here. But in theory, should be able to grab the delta value, truncate it, and do this instead. So we could put a breakpoint there. Deal damage to ourselves, pull up our attributes, let's just make it, let's do a crazy number, let's do 4. Okay, it clamps it to 1 anyway, which maybe we don't want, I don't know. Then we're gonna bam. So what is our context data? So we have the hit context, so hit target, which I guess makes sense, but again, the context, maybe it doesn't matter. So new value, somehow is 12. So we're getting some funky things. Now, is it because 12 is... Maybe it's because of the multiplier? Because I did make it 4. Maybe just not to confuse myself. Let's do 1. Got the breakpoint still. So bam. So we should have 3 in our delta value, which we do. The new value is 83. Which I believe is correct, because we were at 80, right? I gotta get my shit together. So 1, 2, 3, so I'm at 70, so I should get 73 after I do this modification with my incoming health coefficient. I'm healing for 3, which is 100% of my damage. So now I should be getting 73, delta's 3, critical, no, all good. So seems like that is valid. So that to be able to nuke some of that out. I don't know how more, excuse me, efficient this is. Might want to do all this in code, because this is a pretty lightweight widget. Now there should be event destruct, and as always we should make sure there is valid. No. Unregister on healing event, so on healing received. So it should recognize that signature. Good. Okay. Now let's look. So yeah, we have our damage pipeline, so we should have on target. Just say healed. No? Heal? So I actually don't need the execution in here anymore. That's great. What else don't we need? We don't need this. So I'm looking for my internal for applying damage and healing. Yeah, here we go. So it should be down here. We're looking for this event. So let's, without Unreal Insights in a second. So let's give myself 100% lifesteal. And then we are going to do let's deal damage to ourselves. 1, 2, 3. Then we start a trace. So trace is running, so we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're gonna stop. Find our unhealing target. So it is 1.1 millisecond. So let's just grab one of the later ones. This one seems fine. So it's still pretty high. And it's mostly because of this binding and everything, which, you know, 100, like 0.1 milliseconds maybe. It's not terrible. I feel like if that was in C++, it would be better. How much better? I do not know. I think I have some example widget classes, no? I always forget how to do widget classes in C++. Because again, all we're doing is we're really just binding and we're activating the system here. So I feel like this should be simple. Because again, it's just two things. It's a canvas panel and a Niagara system from that plugin. So I wonder if we can just quickly write something. I don't know if I have examples of UI and C++. I do. I think. There's viewport, but then there should be a HUD damage, right? Okay, so we could just steal like some of the information here. So let's grab a little bit of detail. So we need a canvas panel, and then we need a Niagara system widget. We'll keep this running in the back, but let's create a new directory. We'll call it healing. So Unreal class. First we gotta look at it here. So it's gonna be user widget, right? So add Unreal class, all classes, user widget. And we'll call this GASC UI _ healing. Just the private. Add that, but we're going to have to move our header into the appropriate thing here. So we got to find HUD and then healing. And then we're going to move healing here. And I'm going to have to update this. So hash include game healing. So let's close out of everything and just open up healing.h and maybe the number panel first. All right. So I don't need core minimal. What we need, now obviously we'll do these virtual voids. Probably don't need to have it on tick. Is there a tick? Yeah, tick frequencies never. So we should probably keep it that way. So we'll have to figure that out. Yeah, canvas panel. And then, so we'll call it a, life steal or a ceiling container. And then, we need to have our callback in there. So if you remember, what we're also aiming for is 140 microseconds, I believe, was what we're looking at. So everything being in Blueprint. So now we need to have a function without damage mod context. So we need to do, so you function f damage modification context. Healing context. Should be on healing. Event, right? Don't know if that's right. Because, on the damage number panel, we're doing void on damage dealt and getting the payload data there. So it's probably more in line of void. And then context or something. And then the next thing, so, healing. Then we're going to do this. Copy and paste. But now it's going to be Niagara system, or is it widget? What's the type called? And how easily do I have access to that? So Niagara system widget. Assuming that's gonna be fine. And so basically, on native construct, or is there actually a normal constructor? It's like the native construct, but then it doesn't seem like there's anything else. And the damage number itself, there's the native pre-construct. Maybe I could do that. And we're looking for tick, right? So tick frequency. Oh, do we see anything like that under pre-construct? Tick frequency equals never. Is there like E? Yeah, something like that, like never. Never isn't accessible, so how do I access this? Guess I can't. Okay. Not a big deal. So now I should be able to do more or less this, right? So I should be able to say if so a actor equals get player pawn. What does this return? What's a pawn? Now I need to do the whole statics thing. So I could say, you know, do damage pipeline statics, register on healing event. We're gonna say owning actor. We're gonna say E healing event type received, and then we're gonna say now the callback is gonna be that's what I was hoping I could write. So connect over value void to write parameter type F on healing applied event. So types. So what is it really expecting down here? Is it because of const? Let's see. Frost. Wow, damn. So cannot convert value, void, parameter type. So do I do any other statics like this? Or do I kind of say, you know, can I say get world? So if world equals actor world, say like huge damage pipeline subsystem, damage subsystem equal world get subsystem. And then what can I say? Damage pipeline subsystem, register actor on healing event. And then am I able to do it this way? Is it the same error? Seems like the same error. Thanks for popping in, Tasha. I appreciate it. Enjoy your night. Yeah, what's wrong? So cannot convert R value of type UGC healing cost for param type F applied healing event. Not 100% sure on that one. Is it because it's void? Oh, I got passed in a delegate. So is that an option? If I say F on healing, apply the event. Can't really create a U object here. Unless I say this. Then yeah, how do I kind of link this? Then I say something like dot bind dynamic. Maybe I could do something like that. Let's see. Maybe I don't have to do this, and I could just do it here. I do this. This is longer needed. I do this. I do this. That. And then I have to do the native destruct. And then I do if can I say within this? See if that is right. Then if it's okay, then we can use the hit context stuff to just basically do that. ChatGPT is saying I'm wrong in some way. Feels right. They want this to be a U property, blueprint assignable. And there's the U function, that's fine. Always saying. So can I? Let's assume on healing applied dot add dynamic. Right? Let's just assume this is fine. At this point, what we want to do, let's just try to compile, and we'll deal with the issues in a second. Okay. So blueprint read-only should not be used for private members. So I'm guessing this has to be public. Okay. Maybe that's why it was giving me an issue. I don't know. Okay, so now blueprint assignable is only allowed here, so maybe that's okay. Baby steps. We no longer have a kitty in here. Okay, so missing type. Okay. So I need to include, I think, hash include Is there a way to access this thing? Okay, so plugins, no, so there's source, then there's edit engine. So plugins, marketplace. Skills. My add existing item. Is there a reason why it's not in there? Weird. Let's let it do its thing. Hopefully it doesn't shit its bed, but... So good at, like, not... I think my writer is frozen. Oh boy. Man down. I don't know how long it's gonna be hung up like this. No! Okay. I guess we could just hang out here and look at each other. But yeah, I think my system is gonna be hung up. Okay, let's assume. Yeah, we're stalling. Let's just get Task Manager out and I think we gotta nuke this bad boy. Oh, where's Writer? I mean, see. Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if it was gonna let us or not. Yeah, a lot of eye contact. Stevie Ray Drawn, how's it doing? How's it going? I'm good. I'm doing good. Doing a lot of work for our damage pipeline. Trying to do a lot more for our optimizations here. Both, we were using this new plugin for this Niagara UI widget drawer thing, and so when we're trying to convert stuff into code, it was not recognizing this variable type, this Niagara system widget. And so then I realized I don't think we had, at least I don't know why it was compiling, but for some reason it wasn't really added to our project. It is a productive day. My partner's in Estonia, so I'm just chilling all day by myself, streaming for a little bit extra time than usual. So depending on how we make progress here inside of our updates for our widgets, we might continue streaming for a bit longer, but it's hard to tell at the moment. Well, let's try adding this thing again. So under plugins, marketplace. Yeah, now we have this Niagara thing, right? There's the binaries and this plugin, intermediate content, and all that stuff. I don't know what I need to include. I should include Niagara UI renderer. Not entirely sure. Unless I need to add this. If I want access to it in code, it has to be included. Maybe. In our build.cs. Don't know how to write this. So there's Niagara UI renderer. It's a module. This is what it's called. So I should be able to just write that, right? It says it's not a name of any module. I mean, there is this GitHub. Maybe we can get a clue from the GitHub. There's the source. Like Niagara UI. The source. Like, to me, it feels like I just need to include like Niagara UI renderer, right? I feel like, does he have an example project? Renderer documentation. Yeah, that's all pictures and shit. How to install, how to use. There's a forum post and documentation. Sample project. Well, I mean... So is it Niagara UI? Yeah, it's not really finding this anywhere. Well, I mean, technically it is, right? It feels as if I need to find this somewhere. So can I do like hash include? Or is the source also missing or something like Niagara? Can I add directory? No. Add existing. I add. Is it gonna let me? I wonder. It's gonna freeze again, maybe? Maybe I need to be a little patient. I don't know. Okay. Little patience didn't hurt anybody. So maybe it'll recognize it now. So Niagara UI renderer. And now, can I include... I don't know if I have to... Niagara system widget.h maybe. Let's see if that compiles now. If it does, then I'm a genius. If it doesn't, then it's rigged. The system's rigged against me. This does work. Then I have to update the class for my widget. Make sure the names match. So healing container and then healing Niagara system. Yeah, it's rigged. Totally rigged. Then I gotta update my unhealing event as well. And then I gotta just see if I get the values I expect. Ladies and gentlemen, your boy is a genius, certified. Got my degree in the mail. Yeah, I appreciate you appreciating the thought process out loud. It's kind of like a rubber ducky kind of situation. I just have to talk into the ether in order to kind of figure out what I'm doing. And hopefully by speaking it out loud, you guys understand the problem too. So if you happen to maybe know the solution, you can help a brother out, you know? So let's reparent this bad boy. Create native base class. What is this? And, you know, also, like, this could, to even refactor this even further, it could be a view model I guess. But one thing at a time. So I said refresh, so let's do reparent. So we're doing healing, right? Okay, it's gonna yell at me for a bunch of this stuff, so let's just let's nuke out everything here. Call our supers. I'm gonna keep this as a reference to what I need to be doing in code. So now I need to rename my stuff, right? I need to name the healing container. Then I need to name this healing Niagara system. And then this should compile. Almost. So I don't think I need to do tick here. Tick. So I'll need to recompile that. Get rid of that final warning. And then at this point I should also I should be able to just log some stuff, right? So we log fmt, log temp, warning, healing received. Let's just work the assumption right now that we're cool with the damage modification. What is it? Healing context dot delta value. I think that's all Gucci. Boom. All right. So now with the update to removing tick and in at least broadcasting this out, we should hopefully see everything and hopefully nothing crashes. You know, always our test case is that we don't crash. So let's open up our widget again. It all compiles. It says this widget may require a native tick, but so it's still saying that. I wonder how I can get rid of that. But the widget said. I wonder. Is there a way to handle that? I don't know. Okay. Nothing to worry about. Everything is fine. So let's play. So far, so good. We spawned. No crashes. Let's clear our log. Let us open up our attributes. Let's give ourselves a good amount of passive healing. Not passive healing, active healing, and then we'll deal damage. And then we do this. Okay, no crashes. Are we getting that output? I can't tell. Yes, healing received 3, which is correct. Awesome. So now, because again, if you notice, we'll play again. We're no longer getting our drawing on top of the UI by the player. You know, those green Niagara effects, which is totally fine. So we need to add that now, because that's what this Niagara system is doing here. We just need to do it again in code. So this is an f name. So let's make that a variable. So view property, print, read only, category, healing. I don't know if you can edit anywhere. Sure. F name. So Niagara spawn count. Fine. Say equals F name. I mean, we could, by default give it the same name here, right? And if we want to update it later, we can. Bam. So now we have to do what? Whoop. Get Niagara component. So actually to go get Niagara component. Activate system. And what was it? True? Yeah, reset is true. B flag is just attached. No. I mean, what am I getting here? Okay, so I need to actually do it from the system itself. Hold on. Quick, so we're going to do healing, Niagara system, activate system, right? Reset. And then I could say healing Niagara system, get Niagara component, set. Now what's the set Niagara variable? Int. Now this takes it's actually taking a const string name. Interesting. And I just say string. And then the value is going to be, I need to do what? U Bismuth math library. Max between 1 and delta value. What's wrong here? So function is deprecated. Reason, please update your code. Okay, what's wrong? So I'll deprecate. So there is a different one. Okay. So there's their set Niagara variable and well, there seems like it's just that one. Or is it just set variable int? Okay, so now this doesn't need the toString, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so that should more or less be what I'm doing here. So, in theory, this should be good to just kind of nuke things out. So, I do want to see what I can do. I want to get rid of this warning. I'm not sure how. There is a thing I could do in pre-construct. Is there anything with tick I could say? Because it's like saying like if I have tick in here, which I don't anymore. One thing at a time, I guess. Let's just see if this works. Probably also on native destructed would want to say like if healing Niagara system, and I say maybe I want to deactivate it. Just to have a fail safe. So maybe the native pre-construct too is what's causing the tick thing to complain. I'm not sure. So maybe I don't need that. Let's just make a bold assumption here. Let's try to compile it one more time with all of that goodiness in there. And we'll see if we get the results. And if we get the results that we want, we'll run Unreal Insights, and the number we're checking against is 140 microseconds on the event being received, and invoking the logic on the Niagara system. Now it's through doing all that stuff in blueprints. So assuming C++ is faster, we should see some time improvement as well. So let's open up our lifesteal. Let's see if it has no warning. Yeah, still complaining. Because if I make this auto, it's fine. Never. Not fine. I don't like that warning's there. I don't want it to tick. So I might kill myself here. But let's just see if we have our logic working. So we're going to update our attribute. All damage coefficient 1. Bam, bam, bam. Now do we... Yes, it works. So now let's get our Unreal Insights. It's running. So now bam, 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 bam. Okay. Let's find our... event. Moment of truth. Seems a lot heavier for some reason, but let's just grab one here. Okay, so it got way more. What? How? Apply handling to target internal. Why is that so expensive? Is it because of all the information that I'm passing along? Because before I was just passing in the F gameplay thing. Let me make this auto, get rid of this. Let's, for my own sanity, let me do that again. Because that's a kind of a wild jump. It got 5 times faster. Or 5 times heavier, slower. Was it just having a bad day? Yeah, still heavier. That's wild. My assumption is because of all of the information in the hit context, also this tick do all of them count that? Let me see. Let's just pick another one randomly. So this one's 60. This one is 40. This one's 390. This one 341. The ones that are heavier have this huge, it's just because of all this internal stuff. So I wonder if it's just because of all the payload stuff. So I'll have to do a little bit of research on that because I don't like that. That's a lot of stuff happening. Is it because I'll have to figure it out. Oh well. Another problem for a different day. At least we got everything kind of in our damage pipeline. Now it's just a matter of trying to make it more performant than that. Because that's way too much. But yeah, that's where we'll call it for today. Thank you everybody for watching. It's all very much appreciated. If you're watching from YouTube, make sure to subscribe. If you're watching from Twitch, make sure to follow. And always join our Discord. We'll maybe stream again tomorrow. If not, either next week on Tuesday. But yeah, thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you soon.